So yeah, man. Scream 4. So Scream 4 was actually the first Scream movie I saw in theaters. I did not see the original trilogy in theaters due to one being fairly young when the first two came out, and three, I was about 11 years old. I wasn't really into Scream and horror, you know. So Scream 4 was the first one I was like, hey, let's new Scream movies out. Let's go check it out, and it was a fun experience. I saw it a couple times in theaters actually. Um, so yeah, that's crazy to think about, man. Like as old as I am, I've only seen 4 and 5 in theaters.
Dude, I've seen Scream One in theaters. I saw a screening a couple years ago, and it was awesome. I
Yeah,
haven't
and
seen.
I love how I'm talking like I'm 50 years old or something. I said I'm old, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, man, Scream 4, dude, it's a fun watch. It's one of my lesser favorites, but like again, it's like with the Scream franchise, there's a lot I love about every movie, all 5 of them. So it's not like this movie sucks, I hate it. It's none of that. I love the overall story. I think the more I watch this movie over the years, the more I love Jill and her motives. Just the scenario so perfectly acted by Emma Roberts. I think the hospital scene at the very end has a little bit of cheese in it, but Scream movies are filled with cheese here and there, as Rupert said we talked about one of the, I think it was 2 or 3. We talked about how there's some cheese in Scream movies, but hospital scene again with the whole where the fuck is everybody? There's nobody alive on this damn floor. That would not happen in real life. But other than that, man, Emma Roberts fucking hit a home run with this movie. I love the character of Jill. She's grown on me over the years. Charlie, not so much. Not a fan of Charlie, just kind of there, and I get it. He's just a pawn for Jill. Um, love Kirby. I love the fake out stab openings. I thought they were very well put together. I'm actually, contrary to what most people say, I'm actually a fan of Judy Hicks. I initially didn't care for the character, but upon more viewings over the years, she's kind of grown on me. Maybe it has to do with her getting killed tragically in Scream 5. I don't know. But I like Judy Hicks. The death scenes were very good. They upped the gore a lot in this movie, which I loved. Because at the end of the day, it's a slasher film, and we all know Scream 3 was dumbed down. They toned down the gore, so that was nice. I like Anthony Anderson and Adam Brody, the two cops, as stupid as they are. Fun characters, man. And then my last complaint would probably be, well, first off, I don't like the filter they used on this movie. The look of it, it's too dreamy, it's too glossy, and then I think there's just way too many red herrings. I hate the Trevor character. That's one of the worst characters in this franchise. It's so obvious a fucking red herring, and even when he's not revealed to be even when he's revealed to not be the killer, it's like I don't give a fuck if he's getting killed right now. You made me not like this guy, so I don't feel anything for him. So that's my initial retrospective thoughts on Scream 4. So talk to me, bro. What was your first memory with Scream 4?
My first memory of Scream 4. I on this before. The first Scream movie I saw was Scream 2. And then I saw Scream 1. And then I saw 4.
I forgot about that. I forgot you went in backwards. That's so crazy, dude. But hey, let me ask you this. If you saw Scream 2 first, did that ruin Scream 1 for you when you saw it?
No, because that movie does such a good job at throwing % of the killers. Like I knew Billy was gonna be. I knew. I was like, what I gathered from watching Scream 2. I was like, okay, her boyfriend was the killer in the first one. So going into Scream 1, I was like, I knew that. But for one, I had no idea there was gonna be 2 killers, and that Matthew Lillard was gonna be one of them.
That's cool.
And also, I got so sucked into Scream 1 that I completely forgot that I knew the ending. So That's how that movie is. So really, it didn't negatively impact me watching Scream 1 for the first time at all. So
that's good, man. And that movie still holds up, dude. Scream 1, I don't think it'll ever not hold up.
The reason that part of why that movie is so great is it plays it straight with you the entire movie. Billy and Stu are so obviously the killers, and the way they act in every scene is an illustration of that. And in retrospect, you go back and you're like, of course they were the killers.
Yeah. Unlike whatchamacallit, Mickey in Scream 2. It's like kind of knew right off the bat this dude's going to be one of the killers, if not the killer, solo killer. I did, however, never expect Mrs. Loomis to be the reporter. I never would have thought that. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
But speaking of killers, man, how do you like Jill and Charlie? You think they hold up as compared to the other killers in the franchise?
I think I love Jill. She's one of the best. I think she's one of the best characters in the franchise. And Charlie, I like that he was a cool character. I like that he ran the Woodsboro High School film
Yeah,
club.
yeah. Let me piggyback off of you real quick. I hate to interrupt you, but going back to what I said earlier about Charlie, I liked Charlie more before he was revealed as a killer.
Yeah.
After he was revealed as a killer, it's just like, well, you're just another run of the mill bland killer. But I do agree with that. I liked him before. He had some personality. He had a certain wit and charm to him. So yeah, I liked him before he was a killer. It's more interesting.
You know, now that you got me thinking about it, it kind of made me like him less as a killer now that Kirby survived. Like he failed at that. But
yeah. I'm wondering if, excuse me, while I chew this ice that I shouldn't be chewing in the middle of a podcast. I'm wondering if Kirby, to Scream 5, we got no mention of Jill or anybody. We all that was alluded to was a decade ago in 2011. You know, we knew she was talking about Scream 4, but I'm wondering if Kirby, man, I wonder if she's going to name drop like Jill or Charlie or something in Scream 6. That would be kind of cool to allude to that, to have a little reference to Jill or Charlie, because she was like, what, best friends with Jill? So I'm wondering, hopefully we get a little name nod to Jill at least. That'd be kind of cool. Which I'm sure we will. Like, how could you go a whole movie without Kirby mentioning of that? I'm sure they're going to bring it up. They have to.
Yeah, but then at the same time, like Sydney didn't mention Sydney didn't mention Tatum at all in any of the other movies.
I know, that's great. All 5 of them too, or all 4 sequels.
Like Dewey mentions her in Scream 3, and there's the Scream 5 thing. But yeah, Sydney
he doesn't even mention her in Scream 3. Ghostface does.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah,
wait, no. Whoa. Dewey. Yeah, no, it was Ghostface talking to Patrick Warburton. So yeah, Dewey didn't even bring her up.
Yeah. So
I'm finally glad they showed the box in Scream 5. At least, okay, finally they fucking acknowledged Tatum 4 movies later. Holy shit.
Like her own brother and her best friend didn't even talk about her after she died.
Yeah, that is pretty sad, bro.
Then again,
and you could always say maybe they talked about it off screen, whatever. Do you need acknowledgement to Tatum? Probably not, but it'd be nice.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if Kirby. I would just imagine like Melissa Barrera or Jenna Ortega. Someone might ask Kirby along the way, "What happened? What did you go through?" So that's why I was saying maybe Jill or Charlie will get brought up. But going back to Scream 4, what is your favorite thing about Scream 4? Favorite thing, and what is your least favorite thing? Let me hit you with that.
My favorite thing about Scream 4, I alluded to it earlier. I love the Woodsboro film club scene, because that's one of those classic Kevin Williamson style scenes, and that's probably my favorite scene. That's the first one that pops in my head. But there's so much great stuff. Like I love the opening, and I think the movie has some of the best kills in the entire franchise. Like these are really solid ones.
Yeah, shout out to that Olivia kill. That's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, and also, but my favorite thing, man, I don't know. But going back to what you were saying about Deputy Hicks, like part of why I think she's a really cool character is because Dewey finally has like a partner in the police force. He didn't really have that before, at least not while he was sheriff. So I thought that was a really cool dynamic. You're essentially giving Dewey a best friend, and that's what I loved about Judy Hicks as a character. And especially since they really made her sort of a red herring early on when we first meet her. Yeah. Especially that scene where she comes out of the shadows, like, oh my, can you get more red herring than this? Like, are you kidding me? But one of my favorite lines in Scream 4 is your lemon squares taste like ass.
Yeah, that's classic.
That's
And
always
I like how they alluded to the lemon squares in Scream 5 too, with the note on the fridge.
yeah.
That was pretty funny.
You can tell Radio Silence are such huge Scream fans, just putting the tiniest nuggets like that in there. Even there's Mike and Ike's on the same table in Stu's house that there were Mike and Ike's in 1996. I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah, that's how dedicated Radio Silence was to just putting in those little details of nostalgia in the movie. Like,
no shit. I know. Yeah. I know the Mike and I saw the Mike and Ike's in the new one, but I didn't know they were there in the original too.
Yeah, they're in the exact same spot.
Oh shit! I need to go check that out. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you see them in the first one when Stu's like, "You hit me with a phone, Dick."
That's awesome, dude. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
But I think that's a testament to this movie. You don't really know what your least favorite thing about it is. You know, nothing stands out to you right off the bat. So
I can't tell you. Like, I can't, like, there's nothing in this movie that I watch and I'm like, that's a negative. That's a negative. And if it is a negative, it's like a nitpick and I don't care. Because I have so much fun watching all 5 of these movies. These movies are, Scream movies are everything I go see horror movies for. And that's why I love them.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of my nitpicks, and I have a lot of them for a few of them, but like I said, it doesn't ruin the movies for me. You know, at the end of the day, it's still Scream. You know, it's still Ghostface. It's still fun. They're still fun movies. I know we've said this time and time again, but Scream is probably one of the only horror franchises that have had consistently decent movies. Like a lot of the other franchises, man, sequels in, they start to fall off, get corny, get cheesy, just get horrible. Scream has stayed consistent. You know, say what you will about 3. At the end of the day, 3 is still a fun movie. There's a lot I like about 3. You know, so Scream has been very consistent, and I hope it stays that way with 6. And I think it will. I think Radio Silence, you know, knows. I think they know what they're doing. You know, I think the franchise is in good hands right now. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I trust them. I have faith in them and this franchise and the direction they're going. So yeah.
Well, on that note, let me know what you thought about Scream 4. I know it's a decisive one in the franchise for a lot of fans. Not decisive for me, but I know a lot of fans out there. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people love it. What did you think of it? Let us know. And we'll be back for Scream 5. We're going to do Scream 5 together. So check that out. So in the meantime, adios.